Alrighty, it's time for a lesson, this time on the order of operations. So I'm sure many of you, probably most or almost all of you have already seen this before. This is PEMDAS. PEMDAS is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. As you can see here, I have PEMDAS written in kind of a peculiar couple of ways. So on the right side here, you can see we have P and E are together. That's parentheses and exponents. I wrote the parentheses in and there are exponents over here. And then we have multiply and divide together. And then addition and subtraction, which I just put the plus and minus for. Now, the reason why I have them written together in this way, rather than just as 6 continuous letters, is because these are the groups in which we do the operations. So we need to do parentheses and exponents. After that, multiplication and division, and then finally addition and subtraction. And the addition and subtraction in particular are meant to go left to right. This is true of both multiplication and division and addition and subtraction. The parentheses and exponents, it doesn't technically matter which order you do them in, although I would strongly encourage you to try and do as much work in the parentheses as you can, because typically that'll make your life easier down the road. Although if you wanted to do exponents first, you could get away with it. It would probably just be a lot more work. In any event, we also have this somewhat convenient way of remembering it by recalling that PEMDAS is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Although I imagine some of you may end up remembering please excuse my dear Aunt Sally rather than the parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. In any event, we're going to go ahead and practice our PEMDAS by looking at a couple of questions. And the first one we're going to take a look at is 3 times 2 squared plus 4. So we need to apply our order of operations. So first we need to evaluate any parentheses and exponents. Now, when we look at this set of parentheses here, there's not anything we can do with it because there's only a 2 sitting inside it. So instead, what we are going to start with is exponents. And this 2 exponent that's on the 2, this 2 only goes to this 2. So let's go ahead and evaluate it. So we have 3, 2 squared is 4. So we have 3 times 4 plus 4. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 4. Our final answer is 16. So obviously you would want to avoid multiplying 3 times 2 first or adding the 4 first or anything like that. And you'll notice we did the exponent and then the multiplication and then the addition. All right, let's take a look at a second example, which I'm going to put over here so you can still see PEMDAS on your screen rather than scrolling down. And in this example, what we're going to have is -5 times 4 cubed, or 4 to the third, minus 5. And the series of steps on this problem are identical to the last one. We're only going to substitute addition for subtraction in our last step. So the first thing we need to do is we actually need to figure out what 4 to the third power is. And in case you've forgotten, 4 to the third means 4 times 4 times 4, in the same way that 2 to the second meant 2 times 2. Or 2 multiplied by itself 2 times. This is 4 multiplied by itself 3 times. So 4 times 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Times 4 again would be 64. So that gives us -5 times 64 minus 5. Now, I don't know about you, but -64 or positive 64 times a -5 is not something that I can immediately think of offhand. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly use my calculator and determine that it is going to be a -320. A negative times a positive is always negative. And then we still have our -5 over here. And then finally, -320 minus 5 is a -325. And that is the answer to our second problem.